My name's Alison Johnston. I'm the assistant principal from Ivanhoe Central School. I actually grew up here. I'm an ex-student of Ivanhoe Central School, so my dream was to come home and teach and probably, finish my career here. We didn't go out as a factor that we were teaching cultural competencies. We just wanted to get back out in the bush, and we have a really strong relationship with the owner of the property out there on Mount Monara. So we contacted John and said, look, can we come out to Mount Monara? And so it was just a matter of getting the buses organised, loaded them all up, and we headed out. We arrived at the homestead, Mount Monara. The first thing I always say to the kids, we have to set up camp, and that's mean get the pergola set up, get the tarps laid, the table set up and the fire set up, because fire is the most important element that we use out there. Get the kids to collect the firewood, staff to set up, and also start the fire, because that was our main centre where we would all be congregating and gathering for lunch. I had 3 activities. I didn't want to be too regimented. It was a day where they were just going to be free. So one was finding mini beasts and ecosystems around the countryside there. So it was things like finding different types of little bugs, spiders, beetles, nests in trees. So they got to explore the ecosystem of the land out there. And then we took them on another activity where we had to find animal tracks. And we really were looking for the native animals like the kangaroo, the emu, the iguana. They went from one end of the creek bed down to the other, and they loved it. They were, discovering things under rocks, and it was a real day of discovery of ecosystems and animal tracks and symbols, using things as symbols, like with some of the little rocks out there, we got them to make symbols. It's like the campground and the yarning circle, and then they had to put the stones around to show, that the stones around that yarning circle were the people. They love it. They love the challenge of learning something like that, because it's all very general when it comes to symbols of yarning and foot tracks. So, there's a place for everything within their life that connects with the land and family. My quest is to make sure that all of our non-Aboriginal kids get the feeling of what it is to be a part of a very strong age-old culture. And that's important in learning, and that's important why we wanted to link it in with the HSI syllabus, doing shelters, doing symbols, and it gives them that continuity, I think, in learning and what's important. The emu bush tree, it was about just going and having a look at the tree, picking some leaves and getting the kids to boil the leaves around the campfire out there. And it actually has a healing component. I mean, it's been in our family for generations, and most Aboriginal people will be familiar with emu bush oil, emu bush juice. We stand by it in terms of healing open cut sores, and you don't have to go to a chemist to get an ointment for a cut or a sore. If you know that there is an emu bush tree there, that's the knowledge that's been passed down. You can, they can boil up an emu bush bunch of leaves, boil it up, cool it overnight, put it in a jar, and there you have some healing medicine. So I think they found that very interesting. Johnny cakes are main staple for our mob. It was important that we have Johnny cakes, that they get to make their own. But it was also important for me to have kangaroo, do it properly, so first impressions for those kids and those teachers that have never tasted kangaroo that way, it's a lasting impression if it's done good. And that's what it's about. It's about getting that traditional food stuff properly So it leaves that lasting impression, it leaves that taste in their mouths where they're going, this is why they bang on about traditional food. It's very important that we do acknowledgement of whatever country we're on. It's important that we acknowledge the traditional owners, the Barkindji people of Mount Monaro. So important that we enter with respect to the family that own the property and also the local tribe, the Barkindji people, that we've been there, we've had activities there and we've left peacefully.